Want to know how you kill a franchise? You take its key features and aspects that differentiate it and you throw it out the fucking window. Recently, 343i has announced its decision to remove split screen from Halo 5. Now in the year 2015, split screen is basically irrelevant to the standard gamer. But to Halo fans, split screen is everything. If I don't miss my guess, split screen may have been your first exposure to Halo. It certainly was for me. I'll never forget going over to my friend's house and experiencing Halo for the first time. It changed me, forever. I soon became obsessed with everything Halo. I'd want to go over all the time to play it and get good at it. There was no online, so most of the time it was just me and a buddy on Blood Gulch or Sidewinder. When I heard Halo 2 was coming out, I asked for an Xbox and Halo 2 for Christmas, and I haven't looked back. It's the game that switched me over from PlayStation. It's the series that I consider my favorite of all time. It all started with a match of split-screen multiplayer on Hang 'em High. Now I ask you, what would have happened if split screen didn't exist? What if when we were deciding what to play that day, my friend said, it'd be cool if we could play Halo, but it doesn't have split screen, so let's pick another game. I would have never been exposed to the series, probably wouldn't have gotten an Xbox or Halo 2, therefore none of the other games that came later. That one experience shaped my gaming future for over the next 10 years, and split screen was the reason it all happened. Apparently, 343 doesn't see its importance. Instead of split screen being a core element of the game, it's deemed unnecessary and cuttable. And they think that whatever they focus on instead is somehow going to fix Halo's population problems. Believe it or not, some people still hang out and do stuff in person. And now for every person that decides to hang out with someone on a given day, you eliminate playing Halo as one of the things they might choose to do. You see, split screen is all about sharing. It's about sharing your experience with someone else. People who love Halo want other people to love Halo, but now getting a new player to try is infinitely harder. It goes from, hey man, grab a controller and try this new game with me, to, hey man, want to watch me play this game? Maybe we can take turns. Chances are your buddy's just going to say, nah man, I'd rather do something we can play together. And let's say it's not someone new to the franchise. They may have the game, but because the human race hasn't been able to interface with their computers yet, and their electronic device of choice isn't a suitable candidate for reproduction, they decide to hang out in person, rather than over the internet. Fucking crazy, right? Now it's time for those two people to share an experience together. Let's say video games is what they decide to do. Time to pick a game. How in the living fuck is Halo going to beat out the other games in this situation without split screen? What if one person says, hey, let's play Halo? The other person's going to say, sure, just drive back to your house and we can play online. The response is usually going to be, but I just got here. Do you really want me to leave? Now most of the time it won't be a big deal and it's probably just your friend. And you'll either play something else or, heaven forbid, go the fuck outside. But what if it's not your friend? What if it's your grandma and she just got you Halo 5 for Christmas and desperately wants to experience it with you before she dies? She wants to bond with her grandchild and see the world through his or her eyes. Well, you have to say, no, Grandma, it's not split screen. I want to play with you, but the devs made a poor decision and I can't. Right before you tell her, hey, don't worry, you can just go buy an Xbox in the game and sign up for Xbox Live. Oh, you remember she's still using shitty-ass AOL dial-up from the fucking Flintstone era, and it's not fast enough to use for gaming. Need more examples? Sure, say a buddy's coming back from a huge drug binge and wants to turn his life around, but you haven't seen him in a few years. You think Halo is the perfect way to establish connection and make up for lost time. Too bad you have to tell your long-lost friend to play from his house because there's no split-screen functionality. Let alone the fact that it's hard to make up for lost time when you're not even in the same house. What's he going to do when he's left all alone with his own devices? No one to comfort him, no one to encourage him. Drugs are going to start calling. You won't be there to help him because there's no split screen. Then you never see him again and it's all 343's fault. What if you're chilling out playing some matchmaking and your boyfriend shows up uninvited and he brought you flowers and a necklace and a letter and a promise ring and a shirt, some long thigh-high socks because he's into those sort of things, and a bunny and a car and a pony, and then he tells you he loves you, but you're playing Halo right now and there's no split screen, so he can't come in. You tell him you love him back, but it's not enough. It hurt his feelings. He's a sensitive guy. Reverse that shit. Now it's your girlfriend who's coming over. She says you don't give her enough attention. Says you like Halo more than her. You say, babe, you know I love you. I wish you could play with me. But they remove split screen, which means we can't. She thinks you're lying because removing something as vital and important as split screen would be fucking moronic. And there's no possible way it could be true. So she leaves you and runs off with the guy who bought MKX because that game actually allows you to play with your friends. Fucking innovative. Now these are extreme examples, but they're kind of grounded in real life scenarios if you think about it. Maybe it's not your grandma who doesn't have an Xbox, but it's your buddy who's been a PlayStation fanboy for years, and finally willing to give Halo a try. The drug thing may have gone too far, and if you have to deal with sad stuff like that, I apologize. Personally, I mean, it's been in my life. It's not fun. And, I was just trying to be satirical. Really didn't mean to offend anybody, and I hope I did. The fact of the matter is, split screen helps you bond. Personally, my dad hates games, and every time I get him to try one and play with him, it's a real treat, and I won't be able to do that. At least not with Halo. Your boyfriend is probably more manly than the one I described, but doesn't playing Halo together sound better than playing Halo together through a small, cheap headset? Well, of course it does. Split screen is fucking awesome. It allows the people who could never experience the game to get that chance. is a crucial community feature, and I would argue that any game that wants long-term viability on a console needs it. People still play together. Split screen allows you to share the game, and now the only way to experience it with someone is if they go somewhere else. Could you imagine that being a good idea with literally anything else? What if you went to a buddy's house and he has a piece of cake? You come up and say, "Hey, I'd like to try some of that cake. Let's share a piece." And he says, "Sure, all you gotta do is drive back home and I'll mail you some." Which is dumb because it's sitting right there. You could share it right now. Enjoy it together. Why would you go home? Because for some fucking reason in this fantasy scenario that makes no logical sense, people aren't allowed to share stuff in person. They have to do it through other means. That sounds ridiculous, but it's what's happening to Halo. If you want to share Halo now, you have to do it separately, not together. You have to go somewhere else to play with someone who's literally standing 2 feet from you. Isn't that the opposite of a social experience? Is pigeonholing your audience into experience of the game, or hell, maybe even discovering the game through a very specific way, not bad? Is that not a mistake when it comes to maintaining a community that only grew to the size it grew to because of its social features in the first place? So Halo's social features have always made it stand out above the rest, and now you're getting rid of them. It makes no sense. You're removing everything that could allow Halo to stand on its own for features that many could do without. I hope 343 sees the error in their ways. I hope they come to realize all the ways that split screen benefits the game and brings people together. It's a social feature. It's important and it's vital. If I were them, I'd get working on making it happen. Because without a community, any game would die. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate all those who stuck with me through the commentary. If you like my stuff, hate my stuff, want to talk about my stuff, leave a comment, like, or dislike, and of course subscribe. Share the video if you'd be so kind. I know I'm not the best editor, and I'm still new, trying to figure out my style, trying to get everything situated. That's why every single person who subs and shares means so much to me, because that means somebody out there liked something I did, which moves me, it really does. It motivates me to try harder every time and try new things, even though it might get a negative reaction. My last video got posted on Beyond, and it got a lot of views from that, and it just goes to show you how it all starts. Someone likes something, and they share it, and that person shares it, and before you know it, you have something special. Let's make gaming special, again, together, over the internet.